Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to Kingston Liberal Synagogue. Welcome to those who are here in the shul with us, and of course to everybody who's joined us on the live stream. Tonight I am co-leading the service here together with lay leaders from the choir, and sadly Rabbi René can't be with us in person, but we wish him a refuah shlema. I'm going to hand over to Jenny for candle lighting.
You shall call the Sabbath a delight. These lights we kindle are a symbol of joy. May their brightness lift our spirits and fill our hearts with happiness and peace. Oh dear, as much as I'm not behaving themselves tonight. Oh, no. I'm trying another one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik neshel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. That's lovely. So this evening we thought it'd be nice to take some space together to reflect on springtime, on the spring. It is here at last. Last Monday we officially crossed the threshold of the spring equinox from winter into springtime. This year, we are entering the season of spring, I feel, with all the relief for the hope and promise of leaving behind the long, harsh winter of COVID that's dominated our lives for the past 2 years. We're enjoying some beautiful spring weather. We can see the camellia, the magnolias, the signs of life all around us in the natural world as we emerge from another long winter. It's just with this sense of renewal in our minds and hearts that we're going to bring to our service. But now, with the crisis in Ukraine, it makes this spring feel bittersweet as a human tragedy plays out. We cannot ignore the fact that the terrible destruction of the environment by the military offensive. Ukraine, we're told, the breadbasket of Europe. Tonight we want to begin our service with a Ukrainian folk melody as a nigun, and join in as we sing, myself and the choir, and bring us closer to those millions whose lives have been uprooted. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai 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 dai 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 dai. Yai dai yai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai. Yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai. And we continue on page 76. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Please turn to page 86. And let's read together at the bottom of the page, beginning proclaim.
Proclaim freedom for daughter and son, and keep us, God, as the apple of your eye. Beautiful make our name, and never cease as we come to rest on the Sabbath day. Seek out the place where I dwell, O God, and grant me a sign of your deliverance. In my vineyard plant a vine.
And hearken to my people's plea. Know what is wisdom for your soul. What is the crown for
Your head, to keep the command of the Holy One, to observe your holy Sabbath. We continue on page 91. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Panei Shabbat Bela, Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Panei Shabbat nakabala. Shamor b'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamiyochad, Adonai echad u'shamo echad, l'Shem u'tifaret v'letchila. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabala. Lekrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nasucha, sof ma'aseh v'mach shvot tchila. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabala. Itorari, kiva orech kumi uri, shir daberi, kavod Adonai ala דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה ובסולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך Please stand. Please be seated.
We praise you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We
praise you, O God, whose word makes evening fall. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסור ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך ובלכתך בדרך, בשוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, eternal one, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
Mi chamocha belim Adonai, mi chamocha leda b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
B'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad hazak mimenu.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Ha'am Yisrael.
Switch of reader. So that was Hashkivenu on page 96, but the song only went down halfway. So let's read together from Shield Us in the middle of page 96. Shield us from
sickness and war, from famine and distress, and keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, and you are our guardian and deliverer, a gracious and merciful God. Guard our going out and our coming in. Now and always we may have life and peace. We praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and all who dwell on earth.
Now,
Please
I'm
stand.
just going to say,
Oh, yeah.
say
Of course,
Shabbat Shalom
absolutely.
to the people who we can identify out there in the wide world, which is Sandra and Paul, Shabbat Shalom, Carol, Anna, David, I don't know, but Shabbat Shalom, Anne is there, and I think that's all I can identify. There are other people anonymous. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Okay, we're now onto the Amidah on page 97.
Adonai sefer tifta ufia hilatecha, eternal Lord, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, v'Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanורא, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Chasdei Avot v'Kavod v'Imaot, u'mavli gula l'nei b'neihem, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, וחיי מתים אתה המושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מצליח השמש ומוריד הטל. מחכה חיים בחסד, וחיי מתים ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ורופא עולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לו, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני לחיי המתים.
קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please sit if you'd like to. We thank you, O God, for this Sabbath day, which calls us to a closer communion with you. Though you are near to us at all times, you reveal your presence most clearly when we direct our thoughts to you in worship and meditation. In you, O God, our humanity is exalted. You are our life. From you come its greatness, its power, its beauty. Establish in us, we humbly pray, a devotion to you that shall be firm in all the circumstances of life. May this service renew in our hearts the sense of your presence and bring us peace.
Ismachu,
100. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace.
We praise you
For the holiness of the Sabbath.
Say Adonai Eloheinu ba'amacha Yisrael u'tefilatam ba'ava tekabel Tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha Yisrael Amecha Baruch atah
We give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God, as you are the God of our ancestors. Modim, modim, modim anachnu lach. You are the rock of our life, reading together, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael ve'et kol ha'aretz kol shana b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael
תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
And we have a moment's time of pause for reflection and silent meditation.
רצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי.
Rather unusual space for me to take in a way, but so now we've come back to the theme of springtime, and just want to introduce it a little bit before we do some singing. I suppose the themes of spring, symbol of rebirth, liberation, hope and redemption, and the songs that we're bringing today all touch, I suppose, on these themes. We have the L'Adore Vador, which is going to be the first choir song tonight. And I was just thinking what page we have here we are. L'Adore Vador, the rebirth, the sense of the life cycle, that's relentless life cycle, which we can be very thankful for. From generation to generation, we will make known your greatness. To the end of time, we will proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O our God, shall never depart from our lips. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. I'd like to ask the choir to come up, and we're going to sing this now. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. That was really a great start to a great performing career we're going to have with that. And we take it to the Rose Theatre in Kingston on the 10th of April. There's a big multicultural event, and please Google the Rose Theatre and do buy some tickets. The Careless Choir is going to be performing there. Okay. I want to now take your attention to the sheet of paper that you have. It's a poem that obviously, I come back to this time and time again, and I've got a mishigas about this poem in that I just absolutely find it so incredibly moving. It's a song, it's a poem, it was written by Mordechai Gebirtig. And you see from the dates, 1877 to 1942, that he was shot, he was killed in a Nazi shooting action carried out in the Krakow ghetto on what was apparently an infamous Bloody Thursday of June the 4th, 1942. It was something new to me that I didn't know about. But he was born and lived his whole life in Krakow. And in fact, he was a furniture maker, but his real vocation was poetry and song. And he became very, very influential and known during the interwar period between the First and Second World War. In this poem, actually, before we come to this, a very well-known poem of his and song was called Esprent. And it was one of his best-known songs. It is Burning. It was written in 1938 in response to a pogrom in the shtetl of... I don't know how to pronounce this. Anybody help me out? Prishtik, perhaps. And his message, I think it's kind of pertinent now. I'm interested in the fact that he was from, somewhere now, obviously in Poland, but still part of that ever-changing borders and terrain which passed through so many different ruling, rulers in a way. And he was speaking this poem also from that place and writing his poetry from that time and that place. And this particular song, Esprent, in fact, its message is, don't stand there, brothers, douse the fire. It's like action. And it feels like, what we're seeing with the Ukrainians, with their incredible action that they're taking to defend themselves. Call to action. So he was himself, he was a Bundist. That's somebody who believed in changing where you are here and now. It wasn't, the Zionists who thought of going to Palestine, creating a new life for Jews. But he was a Bundist, working for the change and equality here where you live, here and now. But this poem, if you look at this, so it was quite a secular movement in many ways, but this song, this poem, does have a very, I feel it sort of transcends the spiritual and the secular, the religious and the secular. It's spiritual. It has a strong Jewish core to it. And I'd like us just to start off to read, I put the Yiddish there as well, because I think the language, the Yiddish, is almost untranslatable. And if you or put it this way, if you can, relate to the Yiddish in any way, you get another whole dimension to it. So maybe what we could do, shall we just try that? I'd like to sing this song for you. It's been set by somebody, a Belgian composer, and I'd love to sing it for you at the piano. But for a moment, I think it'd be lovely to let's speak the Yiddish, just at the first verse, and then we'll go back and read the whole thing in English. Oh, I see, I've mixed it up, haven't I? I've mixed them, crossed them over. That's great. That's great. So let's start with the Yiddish, and it's called a sonniger Strahl. It's like a sunbeam, a beam of sunshine. Let's read the Yiddish together. I know there are people here who've got their handle on Yiddish. A sonniger Strahl is a Rauf auf mein Bett. Maybe I could say the English. A beam of sunshine falls onto my bed. Von liebigen Frühling, der erste Stafett. The first message of lovely springtime. Und zärtlich genommen mich wecken. And it gently wakes me. It wakes me. Steh auf, Mensch, es tobt schon. Der Hohn hat gekräht. Get up, day is breaking, the cock has crowed. Der Frühling, der Malach von Liebe und Fried. Springtime, the angel of love and joy. Kommt on von aller vier Ecken. Is arriving from all four corners. Let's carry on in English so that we can then, also for the live stream. Get up, verse 2, day is breaking. Let's all speak together, a big voice. The sunbeam says, and warmly with love it hugs and caresses me. Get out, and spread the news. Soon it will come to forests and fields. Now this is where I couldn't translate the word mensch, so I left it blank. I wasn't sure what to say. To all the birds, to all the mensch, and the world, the long-awaited salvation. Get up, day is breaking, the sunbeam says. Springtime, the herald of peace, Soon, under its rays, the fields will blossom. And soon the world become light and free for all, and also for you, Jews, for everyone. And I think at the end, the Hebrew of that, und lichtig und frei wird bald werden die Welt, für alle, und euch für euch, jeden, für alle. That means including Jews. It's not just everyone else, but also for Jews. And it's just very poignant at the ending. So I thought I'd like to sing that to you, if you would bear with me. I don't know, is that good? Just, hum along with the melody once you pick it up.
Von Lieben kann
So here we are with spring and a great sense of hope. But this, as we said, a very difficult springtime this year. We're going to now have one more choir song, the Dodi Li. We're doing a song from the Song of Songs. It's something anticipating Pesach. And I don't know, Janet, can you tell me, do you know whether there is, traditionally we sing songs from the Song of Songs at Pesach. Can you just remind me why that is? I hate to put you on the spot, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's a bit late now. She says, well, it's a bit late now. I meant to, just kind of refresh that bit of fact. Or maybe our chair, Craig might well know, or co-chair. In fact, I shan't make a comment. Go on.
Certainly some of the Song of Songs do talk about springtime.
Yeah.
But I'll just say the Song of Songs is another one of those books that there was a big discussion about whether it should be in the
Canon, so to speak.
Because of all of the love songs, which some of them are a little bit
too erotic, perhaps?
Well, not only erotic, but some of them are a bit homoerotic as well. So
right, okay.
If you look carefully at the women, but a lot of it is about spring, and yeah.
Well, in a way, it's sort of between, isn't it? But leading up from Pesach and Shavuot, and it's very much, in a way, supposed to be a love poem, really, to God. But I think
that is the way that it was put into the canon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
When you look at it, that it's maybe not.
Yeah.
That,
well, we couldn't resist.
It makes sense for it to be, and since I guess if you had to find something to be read on Pesach, that was. The logical one with the springtime themes, and if it's interpreted as a love poem to God, that God who brought us out of the
that's right. Yeah, as a liberation sort of. Yeah. Well, the choir again. It's the second song that we're going to be performing at the Rose Theatre. So this seemed a really good opportunity to also sing it for you. So would the choir like to come up, and we'll you'll know the chorus, so please feel free to join in. I think we don't mind that. It'll be lovely. Okay. Not too fast, okay?
Moru love
Great. Well, thanks very much. And I hope you've enjoyed our reflections on spring. We now continue the service on page 213 with the alternative Amidah. And Seymour's joining me.
So, on page 213 is the alternative. What is it?
Amidah. Aleinu, yes.
So we read it together. And then all that has divided us will merge.
And then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind.
And both men and women will be gentle. And both men and women will be strong.
And then no person will be subject to another person's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. With joy shall you draw water out of the wells of salvation. Now we turn to the concluding, the Kaddish, which is on page... Let's look at page 522 first of all. I'm going to read one of these passages. I think the fourth one is the one that I always find the most touching. It is hard to feel serene when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone. Yet in the emptiness their passing leaves behind, we are not alone, for we have the companionship of the living, and even our loved ones who have died live on in our hearts, for what they were is part of what we have become. We honour them best when we live, as they would wish, responsibly and happily, even in the shadow of our loss, and so draw closer to the source of life, in whom every life finds meaning, purpose and hope. And today we particularly remember Solomon Plachter, father of Pamela Jakar Silva, Adele Myers, mother of Judith Waits and Jill Shoverine, and George Clare, father of Jackie Jessup and grandfather to Lydia and Nicola. I'd also like to remember all those people who've died in the last week in Ukraine, and not just the Ukrainians, but the poor Russian soldiers that have died as well, and think about them in the following prayer. Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, Yalma Divrach Hirutei, Yamlik Malchutei, V'chayet Dom V'yonachon, V'chayet Kol Beit Yisrael, V'agalah Zman Karim V'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mavarei, L'olam Alamei Amaya. Yitbarach Yishtabach V'tzva'av V'tvoram V'tnaseh, V'tada V'taleh V'talal Shemei Kusha B'rechu. La'ela minka b'chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damira b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba mishmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mhomav, hu yasei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol v'nei adam, v'imru amen. Thank you, Seymour, thanks. I don't know, Craig or Rebecca, about announcements. Are there any announcements? Well,
there are two things I think coming up which require booking. One is our communal Seder. There's lots of people coming along, so that's well booked, but there's more spaces. Anyone that wants to join us, a very fun evening. That's on the second night of Pesach, the Saturday night. And there's also a kit tea party coming up as well next month on a Sunday afternoon. The exact date you'll find in the bulletin. I don't have it at the moment. I don't know if Rebecca wants to say anything about how the Ukraine collection is going, what the latest is. Do you want to come up?
Yeah.
But just another thank you to everyone who has either donated or has been involved in collecting and sorting and packing donations. I think we've had 4, maybe even 5 trucks that have gone to Twickenham, that have been loaded from here and gone into Twickenham. And from there, they've been driven into Ukraine. My understanding earlier this week, total from Twickenham was something like 30 lorries worth of stuff have gone into Ukraine since the start of the war in the last month, and we've made a small but significant contribution to those lorries. So thank you very much. Keep your eye out on the bulletin and on all of the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram accounts for the opening hours for next week. We'll be asking for volunteers again, and obviously please keep donating. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Back again, just to say thank you very much to Rebekka and the choir.
Thanks so much.
Lovely voices, and
really.
good luck in it's next month, is it?
Yes, in April.
Vibrant Kingston, along with lots of other
Korean dancers and communities.
Right. So, and yes, and you stepped in as well. You expanded your role at short notice.
Thanks very much.
We wish Rabbi Rene better.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. Okay, finishing with Adon Olam. Okay. Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra La'ed Na'asa V'hefzo kol Asai Melech Shamo Nikra Asai Melech Shamo Nikra ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשיל לו להבירו בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמסחר ולא העוז והמסחר והוא אלי וחי גורלי וצורף לי בעת ירה והוא עזי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת ישן בעירה ועם רוחי גבייתי אדוני לי ולא יירא אדוני לי ולא יירא. Shabbat Shalom, thank you very much. Thank you, Nicola, also on the tech. And thanks to Jenny, Sandra and Seymour. Thanks very much. Shabbat Shalom. There you go.